My name is Mbali Dhlamini. I am a visual artist. My practice is transdisciplinary. I perform visual, tactile, and sonic investigations into current indigenous cultural practices. I applied for the WakhArt artist residency program because I was interested in going back to Dakar to further explore the research I started in 2017, where I looked at the relationship between the environment, culture, and people. So I was interested in how a local plant like indigo becomes a cultural representative. I was fortunate enough that once I had applied that I got accepted. During the residency, I used my studio to create a site-specific discourse. I had a mural that I was working on for the 2 months that I spent at the residency. And this mural was my hypothesis mural mapping wall. This is where I would come in and put in ideas or new information that I was gathering during the residency and connect different dots and think more about certain concepts. I also use the space to invite people that I know, curators, photographers, different thinkers from Dakar, who helped me expand and work on the research. I was fortunate enough that I was able to travel to Palmering and to Casamas, where I met women who were actively making indigo in their community. I managed to spend some time in Casamas in WakhArt's workshop. She allowed me to see her process, to speak to her mom, and learn more about their relationship with indigo and the work that they've been doing in their community for more than the past decade. In her studio, I was able to create site-specific drawings, and these formed part of the installation that I had put up towards the end of my residency. So the installation, which I titled A Site-Specific Discourse, looked and invited the guests to meditate and think through the research, the work, and the material that I had presented. So there were some visuals from WakhArt's workshop. There were books that I was reading during the time. The audience could engage with the mural that I had built up and could see some of my thinking process and could respond to some of the questions that I was asking. There was also a scent that I had created in the studio where I had burnt the indigo plant, and it was very meditative. It allowed the audience to engage and sit in the space a little bit longer. Those are some of the responses I got from the guests that I had. And they had the chance to interact with the plant itself in different stages. So the tree as it was, and when the indigo was fermented, and when it was formed into balls. So there were different materials that they could interact with in the space. I also had the material that I received from WakhArt's studio in the space, and people could interact with it, the smell of the garment. So with WakhArt, she used a chemically enhanced vet, and it was very interesting to speak to her about their relationship with indigo and how the chemically enhanced one has helped grow their business. And yeah, because there was also a lot of questions during the residency about the relationship with the chemically enhanced indigo and what it has taken away from the culture. But she was also able to speak about what it had brought into their culture and how it helped grow their business. In continuing my research interest on the relationship between the environment, culture, and its inhabitants, I traveled again to Casamas to search for families that continue to practice indigo dyeing as part of their culture. I was fortunate this time around to meet Kaja Jakate, whose family was kind enough to share with me their relationship with indigo and the role the family plays within the Jola community in Zuganshaw. The family has been making indigo for more than 30 years and continue to adorn their community members for different cultural events. This was my third trip to Dakar, Senegal, and I'm quite fortunate that I was able to travel for this residency and that I was able to do this research. And I think from the work that I've done, there is definitely a need for me to go back and expand on the research and learn more, so I could have a little bit more confidence and knowledge to be able to speak and continue working on this visual research. So inshallah, I hope I will be going back to Dakar.